So this is our topic. So today we would like to um, explore more about the strategies of how to help the struggling readers, and why we have some readers who are struggling when reading. To start with, so I would like to draw upon a reading program that I had participated in Hong Kong. So this program actually is a reading program. It's called the Integrated English Language Program, IELP, and Learning to Learn English Language Program, LLELP. So these programs actually, for the first one, it's for the lower primary. And then for the second one, LLELP, is for the upper primary. So actually this program had already run for 10 years. So many schools have been using this program to teach reading in Hong Kong. So the peak time that we had 139 Hong Kong local schools who joined the program. And I would like to just tell you what works best for the children, especially for the readers, for reading comprehension. So what we have found after running this program, it's that we have found that we need to provide the students with the authentic materials to read. So, for example, we try to find a different kind of test types, different kind of stories, different kind of articles for them to read. And when we teach the students, we should try to run some activities that is really related to their daily life. So experiential learning is very important, and it's not only the topic is not only for English, it's also for other subjects. So like we will have science, we have mathematics, and other topics. That will be represented by English. So from this program, we have found out that what worked best, it was something like when we run the learning activities. So it should be student centered, and also if we have a certain topic. So, for example, we have the topic like for example, it's about the food, and we will run different kind of activities. No matter it's speaking activities, writing, reading. So we put them all together, and we try to help the students to use the English. So when they have learned, for example, one word or one sentence pattern, and we try to use different kind of activities to help them to repeat the usage of the same knowledge that they have learned, so that they can have a lot of repetitions of that knowledge. That's why they can really learn it very well. So this was something we have found from this program. And for the methods, so we have used guided reading, sustained silent reading, KWL, and retelling. So these methods, actually KWL, I will talk about it later, in detail. And for other methods, so actually, you see, we have used a lot of methods. However, do you think that all the readers, they need the same strategy or the same way to teach them? Actually, the answer is no, because we have different kind of readers, and also that's why we would like to introduce you some of the strategies that may suit your students. So even though we have a lot of good strategies, so we need to find out why the readers, they are struggling, in reading. So sometimes you will find that some readers, maybe they cannot really recognize the spoken words. So we say the phonemes, because we have 44 phonemes. Can they really recognize all the phonemes? And can they recognize the words? Have they got the phonemic awareness? So this is the thing that many teachers, they need to find out, and that's why there are a lot of teachers and parents. They would like to teach the students or the children about how to blend the sounds, how to use phonics, to recognize the words and to sound out the words. Because the system of English words. So if you know how to say the words, how to blend the letters, and that will help you a lot to understand the meaning of the words. And this is the most important point that will lead to reading fluency. So let's say, for example, everybody boarded the ship. So if the person, the reader, doesn't know what is meant by ship, but if the reader knows how to blend the sound, it's possible that the reader knows the meaning of this word. Because yes, if they know how to blend the sound, like sh, it, p, ship. So when they hear the sound, they may recognize, oh yes, ship. When they speak, because they know, ship, what is meant by ship. And for the second thing is that if they have the picture, together with the word ship, so they can make the relationship, with the picture and also the sound of the word. So in this case, if the readers, they know how to blend the words, how to recognize the sound, so that will help their reading. That's why we said that, so it would be nice if they know phonics. So what else will hinder the readers when they read? Sometimes maybe it's because the readers, they don't really have enough vocabulary, or they don't have the background knowledge. That's why they don't understand some articles or some stories. And then the second thing is that so maybe they don't have some appropriate English language skills to help them. So let's say, so if they have an article, or some piece of a piece of information that need them to search for some specific information, if they know the reading skills, like scanning, skimming, these kind of things, so maybe that will help them, when reading. So when we teach the reading comprehension, at the same time we need to teach the readers these kind of English language skills, because they may not have enough experience with the print and the books. They need some skills to help them. And what else will make the readers struggling in reading? So sometimes maybe it will also because some readers may experience dyslexia. They have difficulties in the recognizing the letters. They may reverse the letters sometimes. So this is another thing that we would like to explore. So if the readers they need more, they are having a dyslexia, or they have big difficulties in in reading, we need to give them more help. Yeah, give them more images or sound or even sometimes smell. Yeah, it depends on different kind of books that we are going to let them read. And now, yeah, if we know, yeah, why our readers will struggle in reading when reading, so we will also need to know how the information processes in their mind. So yeah, actually, when you read something, you will think, will think of, the image or something about the story, about the characters. So there are a lot of processes going on. So according to John Anderson, so there is the information processing theory. So for the first stage is the perceptual processing. So actually the perceptual processing, so it screens the visual input from the printed text and directs attentional resources to verbal information selectively. So this is the first stage. So they were just having just very preliminary knowledge about the piece of knowledge. And then for the second stage, so that is the real meaning making stage. So that is the passing stage. So at this stage, so the information will be encoded, for meaningful representation. So the reader starts to have more processes, thinking about many things, about a specific information. They try to make it, like a meaningful piece of information. And then for the third stage is the utilization stage. This is the most interesting stage because it involves the reader in drawing upon existing knowledge from the long-term memory. So they will try to enhance the meaning, and at the same time, so they will try to store it for later use. So if a reader can do these three stages very well, so they will be very successful. So that means if we teach the students, reading. So if they have problems, in reading, maybe there will be something going wrong in one of the stages, or in one stage or two stages, they may have some problems, or all stages, they may have problems. So this is interesting to know. And here, so if we know why the readers, they are struggling, and what kind of methods we can use, what kind of strategies we can use to help the readers, because they need some help during the information processing stages, right? And here there are some points, some ideas for you. So for example, for the readers, for any stories, whatever, we need to have prediction. So you try to do the prediction, with the students, and then they will have the interest, to know more about the stories. And then when they look at the stories or read the articles, they may need to visualize the information in the story or the article, and they try to connect the ideas. So how to connect the ideas meaningfully? So this is really not that easy sometimes. So it really needs a lot of ideas and methods to help them. So what kind of methods we can help them? For example, we can ask them questions, try to ask them something that will help them to connect the ideas. Because they should make a kind of it's like a kind of chain. They have to make the all the chains together so that they will have the whole picture of the story. And at some point, we need to maybe ask them to summarize some ideas so that they know what they are at, right? So they know what's going on with the story. And yeah, making inferences is also very important. And here, I would like to raise one example, like the fox and the grapes, to illustrate how we use the focus skills, the reading strategies with your students. So for the first one, so when you look at the cover, so you show the cover to the students, and then you can try to ask them, oh, who is going to be in this book? What is this story going to be about? And what do you think will be on the next page? Or what might we learn from this book? So it's important to make the prediction for the story. Yeah. So they and afterwards you can swap some strategies. Yeah, because actually there is no absolute sequence for these skills, for these strategies. So it depends on the information they have seen, and you use different kind of strategies to help your students. So, for example, if they see the pictures, of the fox and the grapes, maybe you can just ask them, what smells are associated with the grapes in the picture? What taste might be associated with the text? Yeah, because when you see the grapes, wow, they are so big, they look very sweet. So they may think of something like that. Because when they think of something like that, it's also it can connect to what the fox thinks about. Yeah, and at this point they can really connect the ideas in the story. So if you want to use the strategy of connecting, maybe you can ask some questions like, when the fox sees the big bunch of grapes, what will it do? And can the fox get the grapes and get them talk? Yeah, sometimes you can ask them, oh, talk to your partner. Yeah, just very short discussion. Yes, what do they think about it? Yeah, what method would the fox use in order to get the grapes? Yeah. And from time to time, we use different questions, to stimulate your students. Yeah. So will the fox get the grapes successfully, or how can the fox get the grapes? And at some point, so try to check their comprehension. Yeah. And you can ask them to summarize some parts in the story. So it could be in written form, or it could be in verbal form. So it depends. It depends on your students' ability, and also the time in your lesson. Yeah. And if you think that, oh, they have good good knowledge on connecting the ideas, and you can also try to help them to make inferences in the story. So it's like the fox. At last, the fox said that, no, I don't want to get the grapes. They are sour. I don't want to eat them. So, and actually, if the students they know how to make inferences, they know how to connect the ideas, they will know that actually the fox is just because the fox cannot get the grapes, and then just want to say something like this in order to make it make himself happier psychologically. So these are the skills that you can teach your students. Yeah, you can stimulate your students with these kind of strategies. Yeah, and so if you are teaching, actually no matter stories, what kind what kind of things, no matter what kind of things about geography, science, so these kind of things, so you may try this method, KWL. So this is also a good method to teach your students, to help them understand the stories or the articles. Try to elicit some responses from your students by using KWL. So KWL, so it means K, it means what you know, and then W, what you want to know, and L, what you have learned. So you can make a table like this, and then ask them, okay, what they know, and then they will tell you, the appearance, and what can they do, and what kind of food, the toads will eat, and what they will do, and then what kind of questions they would like to know, and then you put it in this chart. And at last, after the whole lesson, you can ask the students, and what they have learned, as a kind of a consolidation. So this is one of the strategies that you can also use it in the reading lesson. And all in all, so after all these, so can we think of any thing like what does a skilled reader normally do? So actually, for a skilled reader, during all these information processing stages, so before reading, while reading, and after reading, so they will have different things to do and different things to think about. So like before reading, so we try to, as teachers, we try to relate their personal experiences to the topic, and relate the book cover, the title, make predictions, and even generate some questions to stimulate their thinking. And while reading, so you try to make use of the picture clues, and always try to relate to their personal experiences, get them talk, and what they think about this, about that, and then from this point they can relate their experiences to the characters of the story. And after reading, so you can try to ask them, can you tell me something about this character, why he has to do something like this, and ask them to retell what they have read, and if possible, ask them to make the summary. So if the students they are low ability students, you try to ask them to make the summary from time to time, because they need to organize more in their brain, because if you just ask them to do the summary at the last moment, just a very big summary, so they cannot do it. So you can break down the story into different parts and ask them to make the summary. So this is the stages that you can focus on, and think about what kind of strategies you can put into different stages. And now Kate will tell us more about the stages of reading.
Thank you, Sylvia. Okay, so we've got some amazing strategies there that Sylvia has shared. The really important thing for our struggling readers, though, is not just that we use those strategies with them, but they have ownership on how to use those strategies themselves when they're reading independently. So it's a fancy word, but basically what we're talking about here is the idea of metacognition. So that our students are aware of which strategies they have to use or would be helpful to use for their reading and when. And this is a process. So it's about being able to, before you start your reading, plan and set goals. As you're reading, knowing what strategies you're applying and how that's going. And after reading, evaluating how that's gone. Very similar to the three-part strategy that Sylvia just shared. Next slide, please, Sylvia. Thank you. So when put into the context of reading, this could look like this. Before we start reading, we activate our prior knowledge. The student asks themselves, what do I already know about this topic? And what strategies am I going to need to use to understand this text? And this will be based on what they have already been taught by you, the strategies that they've used in class, but they're taking ownership of this. This is something that they're doing independently. So during reading, they apply those strategies as they go. And I've just got 3 here that we're going to talk about and practice in a minute. So when I've done this with students in class, and I was doing it with students across a region of an area of the UK for a while, we decided our key 3 strategies for helping us understand what we read are visualizing, summary words, and making links. So making links between one part of the text and the other part of the text. So we're going to play with 2 of those, visualizing and summary words, in a second. So we apply that as we go during reading. We use those strategies, imagining what the text looks like, thinking about the summary words we'd use to summarize what's going on. Then after reading, we evaluate our understanding, asking ourselves, or maybe asking each other, what is this text about? How does the writer feel, or how does the character feel? And what are the key messages in this text? Like, what is the writer trying to tell me? So this 3-part process is really helpful for making struggling readers feel in control of what they're doing when they're reading. So let's have a go. Thank you, Sylvia. If you could go to the next slide. So before we read, let's imagine we are going to read the text Cogheart. And we've got this word, and we could do it, we're just looking at the title. We could do a bit of prediction around it, activate what we already know about the topic of this text. So things like, what does this word mean? Can we break this, that should say word down into sections? How could we work out the meaning of this word if we don't know it? And what might the text be about? So this word is pretty easily split into 2. We've got cog, we've got heart. So could anybody make a guess about what they think the text might be about? Happy for you to unmute and just shout it out or put something in the chat.
Mechanical heart.
Okay, so a mechanical heart of some sorts. That's a great guess. Did you get that from cog?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite interesting actually, because it's quite a jump, isn't it? Because if you don't know what a cog is, you have to kind of do that sort of process, you know, what are cogs used for, used in things like watches, made of metal. Anybody else got a guess? Okay, we're going to stick with the mechanical heart then. Thank you. So we've got our guess about what the text might be about there. We've got something mechanical, something to do with somebody who's got maybe a bit of a Tin Man mechanical heart going on. And now we know the strategies we're going to use already because we've talked about them. Can we go on to the next slide, please, Sylvia? We're going to use visualizing. Visualizing is a really powerful comprehension and inference tool. It's one of the best we have, because if you draw what's happening in a text, even if it's the simplest sketch, you have to have understood all the details that sit around it. It's actually a very exact thing to do, even if your sketch is very basic. And so by seeing things in our mind's eye and then putting them to the page, we're creating a holistic picture of what's going on in the text. So we've got visualizing, and then we've got our summary words and phrases, and that's a process of synthesis. So not only have we got the clarity of what's going on, we're now saying if I take all of this information and summarize it, it helps me to really synthesize what the main meaning is here. Another thing that we're doing with the summary words and phrases is creating a memory log. One of the issues with struggling readers is there's so much going on, so much in their cognitive load when they're reading. They're decoding words, they're trying to work things out. It's often the case that they forget what they've read in the paragraph before. By creating a little sketch and a summary word, it's very easy for our struggling readers to go back to what has happened previously in the text and remember the story or the factual narrative without having to reread all the words. So these are my two favorite strategies for struggling readers. So those are the ones we're going to focus on today. Can we go to the next slide, please, Sylvia? So we're just going to break into 2 breakout rooms and have a really quick go at this. We've done our prediction. We've activated our prior knowledge. We know the strategies that we want to use. So I've got an extract from Cogheart. We're going to split into 2 breakout rooms, and I'd like you to decide what your summary word would be and how could we draw what's happening in the paragraph. I'd like us to attempt a really super tiny sketch there. So if everybody could have a go at a super tiny sketch on the Jamboard. If that's not possible, just put it on a post-it, what you would draw, and put your summary word on the left. So everybody's going to have a go at the same time, and we're just going to spend 5 minutes on this task in 2 separate breakout rooms. Is that okay, Quenny? Could you pop us in?
I would almost say weapons rather than defense, and show it from the following ships sort of perspective, with the sort of armaments in the foreground and the unarmed, smoother ship, I suppose, of what the Dragonfly sort of on the out on the horizon.
That's amazing. I am, just for the time being, going to draw this because of the militarized porcupine thing, and I am terrible at drawing, as you have seen. So if you could draw armaments, and that would be amazing. For the moment, from my memory, I'm putting this bit here, this porcupine. Okay. So after we've done the reading, it's an opportunity for students to work with their partner, possibly on a timer if you wanted it to do that the way, to reflect on what they've done, to reflect on their summary words and their drawings, potentially compare them with somebody else if they wanted to, and to ask themselves these following questions, or similar questions, such as what is the text about, and who is it about, and where and when it's set. And they should have a deeper understanding based on the work that they've done using summarizing words and visualization. And that becomes a 3-step process. You wouldn't have to use visualization and drawing. You could use different strategies that we use, like clarification or asking, or the other reciprocal reading strategies that Sylvia has mentioned earlier in the PowerPoint and the webinar.
Here, we have explored a lot of information processing stages and how we can set the goal, as Kate have already taught us. So now we have other strategies to help struggling readers. So let's say, sometimes we can prepare the pre-task for the readers, like get filling and draw, ask them to draw one part of the story. If the students they have a they are not really understand the story. You can give them the gap filling with some hints, like give them a letter, and then let them fill in the gaps. And then sometimes you can ask them to look at the comic, and then ask them to tell the story or what they think about the picture, and ask them some questions about the story. Would you have done the same thing as the main character? Or make up a different ending. So that would be very interesting if you ask the students to make up a different kind of ending. And there is a method which is very easy, but is quite useful. Like a jigsaw reading. So this one is a method. Actually, we can introduce speaking into the reading lesson, and the students can really communicate during the lesson when they read something. And it can be done in 2 ways, like choose to separate stories that share the same theme, or you can find a story that can be clearly divided in 2. And what is the procedure to do the jigsaw reading? So like first of all, you choose a text at least 2 or at most 4. So don't ask them to read too much, because they will find it's too overwhelming. And after choosing the text, and then see if you need to pre-teach the vocabulary. And then prepare a piece of paper with a few questions. So, for example, if I want want them to read something about on holiday, so you prepare a few questions and put it on a piece of paper. Ask them to fill it in. So, for example, where is this holiday destination? What can you do there? What's the weather like? Something like that. And you can also set the scene. Before asking them to read the articles, like describe a place that you went on holiday, and get them talk. So that's very important to get your students to talk, because this will lead them to the topic, and that can really motivate them. And afterwards, we split the students, the whole class into 2 groups, let's say A and B, and then each group is going to read one text. And afterwards, you give the students time to read, and let them chat after reading. And when you group them, so try to arrange them, like you ask them to number themselves. Okay, you are number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get number 1 goes with number 1, and so on. And later, and you can get the students with the same number speak about what they have read, and let them answer the questions on the piece of paper. That get them to talk. It's very important, and give them the time limit. For example, after 5 minutes, get back to the group, and they can have the peer check of what they have. And afterwards, you try to monitor the discussion of the students, and ask them to share what they have talked about, and give class feedback as well. Apart from jigsaw reading, and actually there are a lot of ideas that you can use to teach reading. So sometimes maybe you can make up a fantasy, ask the students to make up a fantasy about a part of the story, or tell the same story from a different perspective, such as 3 Little Pigs from the point of view of the wolf, or create the graphic organizers like mind map, and then a diagram, Venn diagram, and sometimes you can ask them merge the characters from different stories. For example, what if Rapunzel met Donald Duck? And you can make some very interesting scene, make the scene to let them think. Actually, it's very interesting. To mix all the characters together, and let them talk about what will happen next, and explore students' interests when you think about the strategies for reading. So if they like something like science, so maybe you can find out more articles about science. And here, apart from all these strategies, I have talked about, this is another strategy that you can try with your students. This is called SQ3R. So SQ, so S stands for survey, and Q question, read, and 3R, so that's read, recite, and review. So from this chart, so you can plan your strategy with your students when reading. So how to set the question, what are the things that they need to survey, and then how to survey, and then why they have to read the story. So because that's very important if they know the purpose of reading, and how to make the summary and create the mind map during reading, and how to make connections, as we have talked about it earlier. And the ultimate goal is that we would like the students to be the independent learner, independent reader. So you can see this is a kind of steps, a flight of stairs, that they need to walk along. And we have put a lot of effort, made a lot of effort, and to support them. So until they can be then a kind of independent reader. So that is our ultimate goal. And apart from all these strategies, so please try to remember a few points. So the role of the teacher. So apart from knowing all these strategies, so what kind of thinking we need to have in our mind? So we need to have the positive attitude, towards reading. Try to help them, give them appropriate support, because we have different students, they have different abilities. So we try to give them the opportunity to express themselves and discuss everything. I mean, they have read critically, and try to help them, in order to become an independent reader. So this is the end of our webinar, and these are some references for you. And we also have put some phonics support website for you. So thank you very much.